ready to go live completely?
Yeah, we can go live. I think it's totally fine to do all that intro stuff live. And someday I'll have like a spiel to break into, like, welcome back to this week's episode of Movers and Breakers, and then we'll have some jazzy ass marketing stuff right there. But I don't have anything for that right now.
We should randomly market random things that we like.
Oh yeah. Or we should have our entire marketing opener styled as though we were selling some other commercial product. I'd have fun with that one as well. All right, so let us do a recap of the story so far. And I'm going to ask that Adam opens up. And then as people feel as though he's missed something, other people can jump in and it'll be good.
Are we going all the way back or just the last session?
Let's go all the way back. We haven't done a recap, and it's been a while since we've played.
So the story began with all of us at the annual ceremony of visions, where we pray over, or whatever. Like, I don't know. It's like prayer, or it's a shared hallucination or something, where we kind of look into the future and see what the coming seasons will bring. This particular vision showed violence, and that's the first time that's ever happened that people can remember. So there was some kerfuffle, and our friend Riho, this is his first jaunt into the Druid circle, the Druid Council, who kind of are the leadership of the tribe, or at least the spiritual leadership of the tribe.
And I can answer that, because it's great that we have you, have the players tell this so that I can answer some questions about the world as you do. They are the leadership of the tribe.
Leadership of the tribe.
Yeah.
And he was accused of bringing in tainted blood and causing possible violence or doom upon our particular tribe. To which there was a bit of a kerfuffle, and then everybody decided that Riho was going to be locked up, and the 4 adventurers, Bear, Apal, Rivers, and Krios, who is not in attendance this evening, decided to undertake a journey into the woods to go to this forbidden tower place to kind of get a better idea of what was happening through these visions. We discussed this with Riho. We discussed this with Trito, who was a member of the Druid Council. And then we went off on our adventure. We were not quiet when we should have been, and we were then attacked by some sort of mining creature that was built to kind of burrow through rock and stone. And we were victorious over this beast, which was really, really lovely. And then we made our way down into an ancient lab that was built apparently to analyze the genetic makeup of people, and it was there to analyze so that it could create visions of the past through nanotechnology that then allowed people to kind of learn from the past instead of having to repeat it or even necessarily know about it. So it's a way to relive your ancestry through visions, kind of like the Animus in Assassin's Creed games, but a little less parkouring and feather collecting. So,
I mean, there could be more if you'd like.
No, it depends on the vision, I guess. I doubt the visions had you collecting feathers all over Versailles or whatever city it was during that particular game for your mother or whoever it was supposed to be for. Then we made our way back to the village to discover that Riho had apparently escaped and killed in the process the two people guarding him, Ire and Levant, as well as Trito, the member of the council who was at least partially sympathetic to Riho and our cause. And if memory serves correct, which you can see on YouTube, if you would like to watch the beginning episodes at Movers and Breakers, you can find Krios Part 1 and 2. And at the end of that one, Bear, played by myself, told Rivers to come with him to see if we can't get an idea of the track of where Riho went, while we sent Krios and Apal to the remainder of the Druid Council to let them know what we found, because we believe that there is an incredible misconception of what the visions represent, as well as the information that the machines give out. So some interesting tidbits was it appears that around 850 years ago, there was at least some member of the Druid Council, maybe the origin of our tribe, who programmed into the machine Corpal, the ability to designate Corpal blood, which is the barbaric, raging tribe to the north, who we want nothing to do with. Both myself and Apal have at least a small percentage of genetic similarity with the Corpal. Riho apparently had closer to 50%. So,
Correct.
And let's see, what else? Any other important details? I think the only other important details is that there was at least a moment before we left on our little tower adventure that there was some sort of creature in the shadow that seemed to be spying on us. I was unable to track them through some ineptitude, and possibly because they were jumping through the trees like nimble little kitty cats.
Nimble little kitty cats.
So right now, basically, we're splitting the party. Two of us are going to go find some tracks. The other two are going to try to go convince the council that they are misled on their understanding of what the visions are. They are not visions of the future, strictly only of the past.
Perfect. I assume you guys plan to meet back up in the center of the village or whatever. You coordinate that all. We don't need to get into that.
Yeah, I'd say that was.
Yeah.
I don't think it was spoken, but I think at the moment it's just people are going to go off and take care of what they need to take care of, and we'll see if Bear is reasonable and stays before he has to feel the need to go track something like an idiot.
And just to let you guys know, that kind of logistic stuff where it's I'm gonna more or less give you guys the benefit of the doubt in most future sessions, because nobody likes sitting here and watching us plan the logistics of how we're going to make sure that we eat enough meals and all get to go to the bathroom every day. So we're just gonna gloss over that stuff.
Bear needs to take a dump, so before he goes
perfect.
tracks things, he's going to find his favorite hole.
Favorite dump hole.
Which is presumably in the woods. Since
I don't want to die of constipation out there, so,
For sure.
It's not fun to hold it until you shit yourself in the middle of a fight. That's just not fun.
Okay, so I think we will start then. It was Paul and Krios were going to speak with the council, is that correct?
That is correct.
Perfect. So just so you guys know, Krios, seeing all the bloodshed, while at first he was interested, and he was kind of excited at the more visceral aspects of the visions, that dullness that the visions provided is lost here, and the sharpness of seeing actual brutal kills in front of him has made him a little more introspective. So for the most part, he will respond when spoken to, but will not be, pushing the story along.
Slickers. They can't handle it.
Can't handle it, yeah. Paul. So you go to find the Druid Council, and let's what's a good description for the Druid Council's like main meeting area? Give me that. Give me that juice. You guys worship the moon, so maybe it's some kind of moon temple, maybe?
Yeah, I was gonna say it's, a bunch of older trees kind of surrounding this, I guess, how big of a temple are you thinking?
Make it as big as you want, man. It's a fantasy world. Let's make it
All right,
fantastic.
it's like 7 different towers, kind of, they kind of look like a tree itself, just the outside. So me and Krios go to the top floor where we know they're all sitting, expecting to be chewed out, and they're not happy, and we weren't there to help them, so we're kind of going in a little hesitant.
Got it.
Want to give them information, try and persuade them, but clearly us not being there isn't going to be a good starting point.
Rivers, what was it that you were going to say?
Oh, if you incorporated marble tiling into the section, it looks incredible in the moonlight, really.
Yeah. So what we're going to go with is, so now that I've got your description, I'm gonna play with it a little bit. I hope you don't mind. It is a single wide pedestal that is raised about 30 feet, made of solid marble, that has 6 spiraling stairs leading up to the top. And in the center of it is a single tree that seems to be made of marble, that has grown in the time you have seen it. And while there are normally spots that the Druid Council would be seated to have their discussions, that formality has been abandoned in this instance. And the 4 remaining members are... 3 of them are discussing angrily with each other, and Lina is further off, pensive. And you can see that her eyes are red. Not like blood, like she's been crying.
Okay, I think I'll approach her first. Could Rivers have come with me, since Krios will probably be a bad interviewer?
I actually think it makes more sense that Krios would not have come with for this part of the conversation.
Fair enough. I'll wing it, boys.
Especially because it's like, you're going to talk to your village's high council, right?
Our people.
Yeah.
Or my people.
Yeah, like this is not his place, and I think he would know that.
All right.
So Rivers, you can choose where to go.
Or maybe as like a bird, kind of giving me like some like pecks. Like
fucking little pep talk.
Yeah, like giving me ideas. Or at least so Bear can maybe hear some stuff
Rivers,
somehow.
which situation would you like to be in?
Okay, I'm torn. I do believe Bear is fully capable of tracking by himself, though.
Mm-hmm.
That I'll go. And I don't believe Apal is capable of getting through this conversation by himself. No, I'm just... But Apal is a wonderful, wonderful man, very single-minded, and sometimes you need a little bit of a voice on your shoulders. And I'll be that for him.
And will you be a literal voice on his shoulders? Because then you can't actually speak.
No, I will be in human form.
Perfect.
We'll get it down.
So you guys head up the stairs, and they are only wide enough for one person at a time. So, I mean, you can both go right back to back, but, small detail. And when you reach, you head over to Lina, who is, I'm going to say, seated at the base of the tree. it's not a huge tree, right? It produces fruit like a tree does. It is clearly living stone.
Wait, is the fruit also stone?
The fruit is not.
Tree.
It's a pretty sweet tree.
All right, so we'll approach her, and
She looks up. Her eyes are not. She's not crying right now. And so she gets up and composes herself. And then opens her mouth to speak, and then closes her mouth.
I'm so sorry. I've heard what they've said outside, but I'd prefer to hear from you if you are able to speak right now.
I didn't think he had it in him.
You watch him kill people, or is this what the evidence suggests?
I mean, you saw it.
We
Only a druid could have.
Well, perhaps he made the actions, but it wasn't completely him in control. Was anything bizarre that you saw? Did you actually see anything happen, or do you know if anyone did see anything happen?
It was over in a second. Nobody saw anything. Well, I guess they probably did, but they're... Anyway.
I see. Well, we did find some interesting things out at the tower, and perhaps we shouldn't be so decisive on blaming Rio.
All right. What? What?
Well, we learned of his genetic descent.
His lineage?
His lineage. Thank you.
I'd prefer if you didn't tell people about that.
We're only trying to help Rio.
It seems pertinent.
It's pertinent, but we're only bringing this to your attention because we assume you know, and perhaps you can help us. You can lead us in the right direction here. We're only trying to help. It's not too late.
You need directions?
We have more information.
What?
Krios has helped us understand the technology of the tower. That is the word. What we found was that these visions that result experience are visions only of the past and not of the future.
How could you even know that?
How do you know they're of the future?
Because the archdruid before me told me, and the one before him told him, and the one before her told him.
Our sources come way before any of them.
My experience as a druid at the tower was one of I do not believe a druid is fully interpret what the tower is. Krios, as an outsider and a tech, he interacted with it in a way that I found astounding, and he was able to get information very easily that was confusing. The information was very clear. He was talking to something and incapable of lying.
Krios helping us really helped tap into what that tower truly is. Better than any druid could. And we all witnessed.
My only point would be here that I think it would be easy for a druid to mistake what the tower was. I certainly never would have known.
Krios is a good man, and he wouldn't mess with any of our minds. He's only trying to make things clearer for all of us.
Yes. She turns and looks at the tree for a bit. And then, turning back, she says, I'm sure someday we'll have to cross whatever river that is. And you know that we can't just take your word on it.
Yes, I was hoping we could show you.
And why the hell did you go there? And none of it matters. Because my son killed 3 of our men and ran away.
Well, he possibly killed 3 of your men and run away.
We're not convinced yet.
In him as much as you don't.
You have to believe. Do you have doubts?
There is information also you may not know, which is that I saw some kind of entity of the forest watching us when this originally all happened. We tried to track it.
Didn't you tell any of us?
We told
Trito.
Everyone else was so busy. We decided to tell him and the council for us.
We had to move fast. We weren't sure what to do, and we were only trying to help.
Well, that would explain why he's dead too, at least.
Perhaps it's good we didn't spill the beans to everybody.
We're rather inaccessible at the time, and we apologize that we couldn't deliver the message to you directly.
I don't know where he is anymore. We know he's not dead, and I got 3 bodies to prove it. Riho, that's who I'm talking about.
Follow.
So I don't know what you plan on doing.
Well, we wanted to tell you first and see if there was any direction. Did anyone see any way he went? Currently, our friend Bear is out there trying to find any track that he possibly can.
Well, I guess we'll just have to put our faith in him. And with that, we're going to cut over to Bear. So, Bear, you are specifically trying to track down this creature. Is that correct?
Well, I'm going to go... My plan was to go to his detention zone and see if I can't... I mean, that's... I feel like that's the starting place of any good tracker as I want.
So, let me set the scene for you then. You guys were all together there, where you saw the shredded bodies. And you chatted, and then Paul and Rivers walked off. And now you and Krios are standing at the site, which was just outside the like holding tent, basically. Yeah.
The metal tent, the metal. Yeah, then I'm gonna have. There's a couple things. I want Asmodeus to see if he can't get the scent of Riho first,
What is Asmodeus' abilities again?
He has keen senses,
Okay.
and he's ferocious, and he's trained in hunt and fight monsters. And his weaknesses is that he's stubborn.
I think that's reasonable. So carry on. Keep on describing then.
Oh, so I mean, I'm gonna have Asmodeus. I'm gonna see. He's gonna smell around the inside of the tent thing and get a scent of Riho. Well, I kind of am gonna take a look at the bodies, the damage done to them, to see if I can recognize what caliber of claw or creature could do this. I also want to take a look at the direction of any damage done. Like, was the damage caused from the inside or outside? Is that like, I don't want to do like full CSI this, and at the same time, like, I want to use common sense here.
Yeah.
This is what I would normally do out in the wilderness. Like, what angle does claw marks happen on branches? Like that kind of stuff. Like, this is a simple track. Like, where did Riho go? In what form? What size? And I also specifically want to see if I can recognize anything coming to the tent that I can't account for.
So I just need to open up your sheet a bit because I need to remember all the moves and what they do. Okay. So you need to discern realities. That is what you are doing.
Okay. No modifier?
Oh no, you're
My bear?
Your Asmodeus is helping you, yes.
So I should get a 2, right? +2 for his cunning?
Is that how it works? Seems like it, yeah.
If I understand correctly...
Yeah, no, I think you're right.
There, command. Oh, here it is, command. I'm just going to hit command really quick.
You want this quesadilla?
And just...
Okay.
It doesn't have a... Oh, no, command.
But let's do at least something that they're trained in. So he is trained in hunting, and his stats are 2 ferocious, 2 cunning, 0 armor, 1 instinct.
When you discern realities, add its cunning to your roll. Yep.
Okay. So if I hit discern realities, I'm going to add 2 to this.
Crushed it. Do you have any conditions that would have modified that negatively? Marked? You do not.
No.
Okay.
I don't currently have any conditions.
Perfect. Then you can ask me 3 of those questions. Yeah. Perfect.
Then yeah, what creature killed these men?
Choose from the list.
Oh, sorry. Okay, so my first question is, what happened here recently?
Perfect. The 3 here were simultaneously attacked by a beast or beasts with claws that were about 6 inches long. And before any of them had time to react or say anything, they were dead.
Got it. What here is...
Well, actually, sorry, I can give you a little more than that. I just realized I was being a little vague. Because all of them were killed, and there were 3 of them, you know that it was more than one. More than one beast attacked it.
Okay.
No single thing can actually kill 3 people before in a single breath. So,
except for me.
Except for anime. You wait, we're getting there.
Level 2. Level 2 if you're weak enough. What here is not what it appears to be.
Yeah, I mean, plain and simple. It, at first glance, looks like Riho had fought his way out, but these people put up no resistance, and they were not attacked from the back.
Can I
They were
modify that question a little bit?
sure.
Like just because I guess once I realized that like all three died at the same time, probably from the out. Like my guess is from the inside. Is there any sign of a fight that happened inside the tent?
Oh yeah, that's perfect.
Like that's kind of what I want. Like I'm hoping to see if like Riho tried to defend himself at some point. If there's like blood splatters that are unaccounted for, because like or some, it's like something that happened in the tent or inside that I'm hoping to get.
Yeah, no, Riho did try to. I guess the most accurate thing I can actually say is there was a fight inside. You can tell from the claw marks on the wall, the inside walls, and the dirt in the ground, but there is no blood.
Okay. Interesting. Oh man. Okay, so the third question here. Do I have an approximation? Oh, I don't know.
Well, ask the question. We'll see if we can.
Well, it's like I feel like it kind of goes with what should I be on the lookout for, but also kind of goes with what happened here recently, where it's just like, what number of creatures was there? Was it just 3? Was it more than 3? You know, like what am I like tracks and stuff? Like what is Asmodeus focusing on with his sniffs? Like is he cluing in on multiple like many signatures? Am I seeing like a lot of different footprints? Are they heading out?
Sure. Yep. I got you. I got you.
You know what I mean?
got you. Yep. So while it seemed like 4 or 5 took out the group simultaneously and Riho. You can see actually now looking up to the tops of all these metallic tents. You can see scratch marks in their sides, giving an indication of maybe 20 more.
Okay. How much of a head start do they have on me?
You're done with your 3 questions. So that's not a part of that, unfortunately. But you are moving on to a hunt and track roll.
Okay.
So, and you will take +1 on that hunt and track roll for acting on your answers.
What creatures do I know about that have claws of that nature?
So, Rivers, I don't think any normal creatures would have 6-inch long claws in this biome. Am I right?
Biome are we in?
We're in your natives, so Great Rivers, or the River Delta, and the Great Forest. I think 6 inches is probably too long.
The thing I can think of is 20,000 years ago, giant sloth. Yeah, things that are extinct currently in the planet.
Right. So I'll say not anything that any of you guys have been able to see, because keep in mind you have been kept within your sacred lands, and none of you have ever ventured outside of them. And so within them, you guys have a pretty good idea of what lives there, and this could have been a collection of mechanical beasts, and those guys would have had, more lethal weapons like those kinds of claws, but
I've never hunted anything with like that. So okay. So all right. So I'm gonna hunt and track then, and I'm gonna take a +1.
And your bear is helping you.
So +3.
Yeah, you get them. Well, you'll get a +3, and if the game works correctly, it'll only add a +3 total, or a +4 total. So I'll check the roll after you roll it.
Well, Okay, because it's like +2 from my bear from Asmodeus, and then +1 whatever you gave me +1 on it, right? So when I'm hitting this, it's going to be a modifier of 3.
Correct.
Got it. Thank you, bear, and
Now
thank you,
let us
Asmodeus.
check this out. 2 + 4, 1, 0, 3. And that is 4 and 6, 10. Yeah, okay. Okay, so I messed up a little bit and had us roll this early, and that's fine. We're just going to put a pin on this. You think you know the direction to go. Right? You've tracked back the marks the creatures left along the tops of the tents. You know where to go, but you're not going to... Your goal was to find a trail, not to follow it. Right? Or am I wrong? You tell me. I thought you were gonna wait for your crew.
Depends on how far ahead of they have. Like what kind of lead do they have? And let me break it down into even easier, because I don't need like a specific. It's more of just like.
Well, here's what I can tell you. It goes off into the forest, heading north. Do you stop? Do you stop at the edge of the forest, or do you keep going?
Their numbers. I'm gonna say that. Yeah, I'm gonna. Krios looks worse for wear, and he's oddly quiet during the situation, and he seems hesitant. So I'm gonna grab Asmodeus by the scruff because he's ready to go, and I'm gonna kind of give him a little slap and tickle, and just turn to Krios and just like, are you good? Are you good?
Yeah, of course. Well, why wouldn't I be?
God, your slickers are the worst. All right, we're waiting. Oh, let's go find a Paul. Let's go find your servant and Rivers.
I must say, it was actually very kind of you to for one of your tribe to.
I don't care, Krios. You're lucky that there are so many claw prints that it makes me hesitate, and you're lucky Asmodeus is calmed down by a little bit of a scratch. So let's just go find our companions. God, did I just use that word? Oh. But let me make this clear, Krios. I need you good. So take this time, center yourself a little bit, and because this is going. We're going, and I need you good.
I mean, sure. Like I don't have anything else going on.
Good enough.
All right, so you guys head back.
I'm gonna make my way back to along the path, and I'm gonna just see if there's anybody I can help along the way too. If there's like some quick things that I can handle, but I mean mostly I'm just gonna be looking for Apollon Rivers. I don't know how long the meetings will take.
So you get back, and actually it was pretty quick for you. The Temple of the Moon is a little farther off, and so while you're waiting for them in that central area, Krios has found some berries or something to snack on. He's inspecting them like they're a flavor that he's never tasted before, but they're like blueberries. You've had these your entire life. You're like, why are you being so weird about this? And one of the tribesmen comes up to you. His name is Jalen.
I'm gonna have Asmodeus try to snuggle him a little bit.
Krios?
Yeah. While he's eating blueberries, I'm gonna have Asmodeus comfort a little bit. Just maybe go try to take some of the blueberries.
I think this will distress him.
I don't know.
It definitely seems to put him under a little bit more stress, but like he does hesitantly like scratch Asmodeus. And at first you do think Asmodeus is going to be like a good comfort buddy, but Asmodeus is just after them blueberries, man.
All right.
Bears love blueberries.
I'm gonna whistle him back. If he's not immediately just gonna roll over and like show his belly, I'm just gonna have him get the hell out of it.
He ignores the first 2 whistles,
No,
and on the third one he takes his head down,
lumbers back
satisfied
over.
with blueberries, and comes back. And one of the tribesmen, he came up while this was all going on and kind of waited patiently for it to finish up. His name is Jalen. You've met him before. He's one of the older tribesmen, and he seems shaken. And then he opens his mouth and says, I think you were right. I think we've grown too soft and weak. And I think whatever's coming, we need to be ready for.
I don't think weakness is the word I would use, Jalen. Comfort isn't a problem unless we forget all the people who do things that lead to that comfort, and we forget about the harshness that can exist.
Something is coming.
Yes.
And I am not willing to risk my family and not be ready.
I agree.
Now, I'm not a hunter. But I think I need to become one. And I think I need to become one fast.
I don't think you have time to learn the arrow, so...
Then what else? I'll swear an oath under the moon.
That's a great start, but I've found that oaths only matter when you have a blade in your hand and you can use it effectively. I am not that fighter. Paul is, and you've always known that. We train people here. Go find and wrangle as many willing men, and if there aren't enough of those, find willing women and bring them to the grounds in which we train our soldiers.
We'd have soldiers, but yeah, sure.
Well, guards or
guard,
paladins, whoever it is that we train to protect this village, and
we'll call them wardens because I love that word.
and take it there. Those that have the ability to use the arrow, you can train that way. But I think it's best to figure out a way to take up the lance, take up the spear. Just some small things can happen very quickly if you know some basic footwork and prepare yourself. Part of the hunt is knowing that there's going to be a moment that requires you to kill. This is a good step.
Well, I've already killed 4 people. In the dream.
Yes. And that's good practice too, I suppose, but it's not going to be the same. You are mentally prepared to need to lay down your life to protect those that you love. That's a good start. But go find somebody who is proficient and learn some basic things. And if you want to have a better conviction, wrangle as many of these young people and old people, whoever are willing to do the same, and bring that case to the wardens together. They will dismiss a single, but they might not dismiss more. And I hope to God I wasn't right. I hope to God. The moon. I hope to the moon, goddess, the moons.
Perfect. The moons. This planet does have multiple moons. Because every good fantasy world needs more than one moon.
It does.
It's a fact. He nods, drinking it all in. And he raises his head up a little bit, squares his shoulder, and says, "I'll be ready when the time comes."
That's good. Get others ready too.
I will.
And you know what? I'm not big on swearing of oaths, but I am not so stubborn to not believe that sometimes a good prayer won't help.
I'll see what I can do. And he turns to walk away and then stops and looks back over his shoulder and says, "Happy hunting," and then walks off.
I'm always happy when I hunt.
There's just
And almost like it was a movie, that's when Paul and Rivers show up.
What was it?
Actually, can you guys describe me your postures as you walk into this area? like describe your emotional state through your physicality.
I'm still just trying to wrestle with what we should be doing next and what has just happened and what is the greater meaning of all this? Why is this happening? So I'm just kind of, I have a confused look. Not that that's any different than usual, but it's more concerning, and I'm just trying to get down the steps without falling over right now.
Mm-hmm. Okay. You're trying to get down the steps. Okay, so I'm gonna play with. Now I'll leave that alone. Rivers.
So Rivers is a little terrified at the amount of chaos that's going on, and of course he approaches the site of that there's been much death. He's just obviously devastated by the senseless loss of life.
Mm-hmm.
Chaos that it spawned. The fear. So he looks a little defeated and
So defeated for Rivers, is there some particular animal habitat that he is describing as a human? Is it described in a way that a human normally would?
I'm confused by this statement.
So I asked for like a description of your physicality, right? So like, in how does he express that defeatedness?
Oh yes. Yep. Head. Just looking all over the place, as someone who can see everything and do nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Shoulders low and really, behind a Paul, just, almost dragging his feet, not wanting to see what he's walking towards the death.
Okay. Yeah. So, Bear, these are your friends as they approach.
So that went well.
Please tell me you found something.
Yeah, we're going hunting.
Any signs of Rio?
It wasn't Riho. Let's stake every ounce of reputation I have.
Think the moons.
It wasn't Riho. It was impossible.
What happened here?
There were a lot of creatures with claws I can't reconcile. They attacked at once, killed everybody. Riho attempted to defend himself inside and was overtaken almost immediately.
Killed?
No blood. So maybe he's dead by now, but that seemed like a lot for it to go through to drag somebody out of here and then kill them.
No blood?
No.
You couldn't reasonably overpower a druid without drawing blood.
The creatures that killed these men, I believe if there's enough of them, they would 100% be able to take a druid down.
Yes, but without drawing blood?
I can't explain that either. I'm not going to worry about it because they either don't have blood or they do. Either way is terrifying because they either do have blood and there's none of it to trace back, which means that we're going to hunt things that I don't know if I can kill, or they don't have blood or any liquid in them, and we're about to hunt creatures I have no idea if I can kill. So that seems to be an irrelevant point in this moment. They've got giant claws, and we're about to chase after them.
Well, it seems we have to make another hasty decision.
The decision's been made on my part. You're either coming with me or you're not. That's fine. I'm not going to drag any of you with you.
You know I will. You know I will stand by your side.
I have to tell the council what you found before we go.
Perhaps what we learned from last time is sharing too much information could get some other innocent people harmed. Everyone who knew about the vision or what we were doing seemed to pass.
I'm fine with talking to the council, but the way you walked down these steps, they didn't believe a word you said, did they?
We only spoke to his mother.
They are willing to listen. They're consumed by... We had information that seems dated now that this terrible incident has happened.
Perhaps we tell them our mission and then go hastily. Time is of the essence.
God, I hate wasting time like this. All right. I'm open.
Unless we go ahead and Rivers becomes a bird and flies and catches up with us.
Yeah. That I will do. And immediately turn into an owl.
Tell me how that goes for you, buddy.
Roll it!
Wait, before you do that, Rivers, look. I don't know if you'll find us.
I just say point the direction which you're going.
Point north.
Can we leave any sort of breadcrumb?
Should be able to... I'll be able to move faster, hear better, and see better than any of you.
Don't take offense, but I will be carrying these two with me. So, well, you're right. You probably will find me.
What's that supposed to mean? Yeah, fair point.
I feel like Krios would have a good little solution or trick or mechanic.
Hang on, let me pull up the character sheet. Where is it?
Are you making enough noise?
Some little blinkers, some flash things you can put in the ground so you can see from above.
No, I was kind of going for like a off the grid sort of thing, so I only brought what I, like my babies.
All right. Speaking with, stand up, Krios.
Oh, okay.
We need to come together on this. All right.
Yeah, are we not?
Well, are we? I want to be very clear about something here. I don't like slickers. And it's not to do with a lack of experience with them coming through wanting to experience what it's like to be out here. Normally, it's a really nice dog and pony show. We have this nice little vision. We drink a bunch of fire water, and it goes great. And then they get to go back home in the confines and safeties of whatever walls you guys have put up to keep yourself away, while the rest of us still live out here. I want to make this clear. What we just did and what you just saw is nothing with what we're going to do. I am not going to be okay with you not being okay.
He puts on a smile and says, "What do you mean? I killed a Quakejaw. I'm doing fine."
Yes, we killed the Quakejaw.
Yes, we did.
And then you saw blood. when we got home, and you've been all dazed, all right? There's going to be more blood. There's more things that we're chasing. We are chasing after danger. This isn't a hunt anymore. This isn't like I'm going to take you out and we're going to pick some blossom berries and some brudella fruit and maybe kill a damn deer. Like, we're going to find something to go to war with. There will be blood, there will be death, and there's going to be consequences for what we do. I believe that your experience and your technology is going to be invaluable, no matter how much you don't like the nature. But I need this to be true, because if I can't trust any of you to come on this hunt with me, I'm not taking you.
Listen, man, everything you've said is fair and true, and I get that. But the actual truth is that when I make it through this and I go home, I don't suffer any of these consequences. Only you guys do.
That's true.
I want you guys to know that I flew off a couple minutes ago.
Did you roll shapeshift? Actually, you know, fuck it. I'm not gonna make you roll. You did.
I did roll.
He
You
actually
did. You did. Perfect.
I have learned to trust you, Krios. I don't like you, but I can trust you.
I have trust in Krios. I think
That's good enough for me.
I think we need him.
I would agree. Otherwise, he would not be coming.
All right, let's make haste.
Any other last minute heart to hearts we need to have? Anyone else got anything on their chest?
I just want to give a little
Hey,
inspiration.
Rivers, you have anything? You want to? No. All right, cool.
Where's oh, he left. Well, Bear, I have
talking.
supreme
I'll have to
confidence.
close that one up later.
All right, Bear. Lead away.
And you do. So let's scroll back up to this. So you follow the trail. You get into the woods and you're in about like 5 minutes before Rivers catches back up with you. Well, unless, actually, hang on. We do need to have that scene, so I'm going to cut away for that. Flying back as an owl, you just land straight up. I assume shifting back. And they are now actually all speaking together. And you can see that the emotions are starting to rise, and yet they're trying to speak in very hushed tones because they don't want to project any of that fear on the rest of the tribe. What do you do?
I turn back into human form,
Mm-hmm.
stride up to them in a fashion,
Mm-hmm.
and I say, Bear has thoroughly inspected terrible. He has determined that it was not what's his name? Riho. He's determined that Riho did not attack them from behind, and in fact they were attacked by many foes who had claws. Riho was then also attacked, though there was no blood, so there is some confusion about how that could have happened. What we know for certain is that Riho did not kill them, and that there were many. We are going to track the foes now in a way that does not lead to our terrible demise, just to get information to see what could have.
Um,
I don't have time to say more.
So I'm going to just describe some of those reactions. When you first say that Riho could not have killed them all, Lina looks noticeably comforted by that. And at the end of your whole little speech, and I'm assuming as you start turning into a bird to fly away again. I'm not going to make you roll again. I'm going to say that this roll encompasses all of that. One of the Druid Council members says, but it does mean he might have gone with her willingly.
There is that distinct
Oh,
possibility.
I'm sorry. You're sure. We can have you keep being there. That's fine.
Sorry, it's just like my mouth was still there, and I was like, "Yep."
You just be a bird at that time.
I can still nod. I'll do a wise owl nod.
You'll do the wise owl nod, and in response to the councilman bringing that up, you see Lina's. You see the hope die in her eyes a second time. And you fly off. And it's like the timing of this is all actually pretty quick, so you can catch up with them maybe 2 minutes once they've actually entered into the forest. It's not super hard for you to catch up. Paul is in fucking scale mail or whatever. You're fine. But I will say that uses up the hold from that shape-shifting move. Mm-hmm. So Rivers catches back up with you guys, and now we can resolve that hunt track. So you follow the trail north, and it goes on for about an hour.
Does it seem like they're trying to cover it at all?
Oh, in this hour, I have things to say to these guys.
Hang on. So, Adam, you can use your one choice to gain useful information about your query. Or, if the trail comes to an end, determine what caused it to end. Do you want to call upon that for this?
No.
Okay. What were you going to say, Rivers, then? You can, play out that scene.
Yeah, so I'm not interrupting any of Bear's ability to track.
Mm-hmm.
I will say it seems, based on what you've said, as if might have gone willingly. Although it seems that he reacted defensively at first, at the very least.
I'm sure they must have, or they could have threatened to kill more.
Sure, that's the case. But it also sparked another thought. Perhaps it killed our friends. This was a rescue. Perhaps somebody thought Riho was going to die, which, of course, was a very real possibility.
Or maybe that's what they want us to think.
Still doesn't explain why he fought them at first, or at least there's signs of it.
I mean, we know that there was those things that we tried to track. Perhaps also know Riho is half of this violent tribe. Maybe I don't know what this violent tribe looks like. Maybe we saw one of their number. Maybe they launched maybe he found out that they were there to rescue him and he went with them.
Quick question. Could I have been healing my friends throughout this whole time?
You can. Do you want to heal someone? Go for it. But just so you know, the move is kind of risky. But go for it.
Well, I'm just saying, as time goes on, could I have just been healing them, as we're hanging out and stuff, so at least they're more healed?
Yeah, I mean, give me a lay on hands roll. Pick who you go for first.
Why is it risky, though?
Because it's a roll, and sometimes all that means is that you take the damage that they've taken instead of actually healing anyone.
Never mind. That's why it's a question.
Yep, no worries.
Okay, sorry.
You good? So yeah, Rivers had just.
I
Carry
don't know if that changes anything, Rivers.
Doesn't need to. I just wanted to put it out there.
No, I get it. Just whether or not we should treat Riho upon sight as friend or foe, I don't know if I care anymore.
Well, he hasn't
Well,
killed anyone.
what will just
Yeah,
killing
well-
him do?
I don't think I want to kill him. I'm just saying that, like, when we find him, I don't know if I'm hunting Riho. I'm hunting the people that killed our friends.
Well, perhaps we
Friends is a loose term here. People I know that live in
We
the
know
same
Bear.
village as me.
We know Bear. We get you.
We're keenly aware.
Bear, you're a
I-
fantastic tracker, and I think if the evidence suggests one thing, we'll take our action, but we have some pretty decent technology where perhaps if we encounter any enemies, we take a little sample back to the tower. That seems to be the place of the most answers, or reliable past.
It's an interesting proposition. I do like it.
Well, then, since all the four of us are here and I have paused for a moment anyway, what do you all think is going to happen when we catch up with these things?
I think we should be prepared to fight.
I'm hoping without us, them finding us. I would like to understand more about this. Not that I'm very good at it.
Are you prepared to start the fight?
If a fight is inevitable, yes.
I don't know if that's acceptable to me, Rivers.
I don't understand why.
I don't understand
You
what
so-
inevitable means.
What do you mean by start the fight? I guess.
I mean, if we come upon them and we can land a decisive first blow that heavily puts us in favor of finishing things and getting the information survivors, if it means winning the hunt, if it means taking our prize, are you willing to do that?
Yes. Although, consult the dungeon master here.
Yep.
It seems to me like we would not stand a chance against the force that assaulted those three individuals. There was a better druid than I to
So you are cutting out a lot at this point. So try projecting and let's see if that'll fix it.
Okay. So given that they killed two wardens and a druid of higher caliber than I, do we, as the four of us, have a chance against a force like that?
Let me ask you this. You have seen, have you guys collectively ever killed this many people?
I don't think we've ever killed people before.
You really haven't. I guess this is unknown territory for all of you.
I guess, Bear, what I would like you to consider is perhaps a situation where the wisest action would be to strike first.
I don't know if there's no, but I agree that it's unlikely.
I just want to make sure. I mean, I'm willing to do what it takes, and I'm willing to follow your. But I also want there to be. I want us to consider that it might be that attacking them is not issue. No, I understand they just killed. I mean, they killed certainly my friends. Though that is just a kind of a terrifying reminder. I don't understand about this situation.
Well, then I will be entirely transparent. And I don't know if we will be able to sneak up on them in a way that is required to actually observe them.
I hear you.
Paul,
I'm hoping.
Krios, you're incredibly valuable to me in this moment and to this village and to our people. But my God, you're not spies. You're not quiet. You move through this forest with ear-piercing amounts of noise.
Well, I'll try and take that as a compliment, Bear, but ultimately, we have one goal here, and we want to save our friend. And we have to do what it takes, and we owe it to him. If this happened to any of us, he'd be right here by our side. So, I say we just try and catch up with these beasts. And just to let you guys know, we had no business defeating that giant creature. But we came together and we did it. So, let's go do it again. May the moon protect us.
Bear, can you tell how far ahead of us they are?
The tracks are still relatively fresh, but it's hard to gauge exactly.
And with that, you guys continue traveling along. You are going on a perilous journey. And that's a roll. And y'all gotta make it. I have to find.
I believe I will be the trailblazer.
What does Trailblazer do again?
I get us there.
The one that determines the speed in which you go?
That is the speed one, yes. So, you are traveling through hostile territory. Choose one member to act as the Trailblazer, one to act as the Scout, and one to be the Quartermaster. Each character with a job rolls plus Wisdom. The Quartermaster, or the Trailblazer is, going to determine the amount of time it takes you to... The Trailblazer will determine the amount of time it takes you to get there. Quartermaster will determine the amount of food or rations. And the Scout will stop trouble.
I guess I'll scout. Right?
Or I should.
Oh.
You should scout.
Bear or I should scout or Trailblaze.
So I'll just do the last one.
You'll Quartermaster.
Speed, I feel like speed is not our greatest. I don't think we can allow them to get the drop on us in this situation. I think I'm taking... I need Asmodeus and our eyes and ears and noses, making sure that we aren't walking into death. So somebody else is going to have to take the lead on making sure that you guys are getting through the brush okay.
So Bear and Rivers, you take a couple of minutes to pass on exactly how it is that you've been tracking, following this trail, like pointing out the various marks and all that. So Rivers, actually, we'll start with this one. Paul, can you roll plus Wisdom as the Quartermaster?
0 modifier?
No additional modifier. All right, so everyone needs to mark a ration. And Krios does not have rations. If I recall correctly, so somebody needs to mark one for him.
He can have one of mine. That brings me down to 1.
To 1? Whew. All right. Actually, you know what? Crap. This game really needs gold. You can't introduce gold later on. You just need to fucking have it.
I mean, yeah, if it was possible to get back to the village, I definitely would have wanted to, but I also didn't make it clear that I had the time or the force.
Yeah, but also you're not. No, I mean your character's not dumb enough to.
We have a ton of berries though. Remember?
Ton of fucking blueberries. Unfortunately, I don't know if you can just get rations out in the. There's no like thing for that.
Prowl about.
Oh,
Wouldn't be able to track. We wouldn't be able to track and collect at the same time.
Got it. So.
Not unless I pointed at Krios and like pointed at a berry and be like, "Pick these berries."
Yeah, Krios has been hunting Krios has been hunting rations this whole time. That's why he's been so silent.
Just chomping down. You know what? Yeah, Adam, just mark down. Actually, no, we're gonna keep it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep the rules as they are. You're down to 1.
I'm good.
I gotta follow them rules. All right. And I learned something valuable today. Before killing all my players, and that's the important part. Is you learn it before all your players die of starvation. All right.
Rations are also really weird in this game, but we can talk about that later. It's like I don't feel like I need to eat this many rations per day. It's been like 24 hours, and I've scarfed down like 9 rations. I'm a hungry boy.
Well, I mean, you eat 3 times a day. You're only made to mark rations when you're in a situation where you couldn't use. You have not.
It's all good.
So,
I have 1 ration remaining.
I have 0 now.
You're out?
Yeah.
How are you out?
I just used one.
Because he gave some to Krios already.
Oh yeah. Fuck, man, brutal. Well, let's hope everything was great. Bear, you're the trailblazer, or no, you're the scout. So
Scout's more important.
that's just you get a 10+, right?
Yep.
Okay. And then Rivers, can I get a plus wisdom roll to trailblaze?
Yeah. Think I would be effective to trailblaze in owl form.
It's totally up to you how you want to do this, man.
I mean, that's my inclination.
Well, you just fucking got it, and everything's fine. All right, so you follow the trail up to the edge of your sacred lands, and it continues north past it. The trail ends. No, sorry. The trail continues past the edge of your sacred lands to the north. The sun is setting. You settle to make camp. It normally says you would consume a ration. And I'm going to say that is still true. God damn it. So before that, I will say someone will probably reasonably have to go and gather food. Specifically, Bear, seems like it's time to hunt and track.
Let's do it. I will have Asmodeus assist me in.
So here's how I'm going to rule this. 12+, you get 3 rations. 7 to 9, you get 1.
The 10+.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
6 minus, you attract attention.
Got it.
Could I help? Could I help a bear here?
You want to join him?
I mean, I can be a wolf. I feel like that might be helpful.
I'll give
I'm
you a
open.
+1. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, don't shapeshift and all that. We'll just put a +1 on it.
Okay, so I get a +1 from Rivers, and I get a +2 from Asmodeus.
Am I allowed to help also?
Nope. Your character has none of the required training. Sorry, bud.
You know what a berry looks like.
I don't
do.
recommend. I do
There-
not recommend. Lots of berries that
All
will
right,
kill you that look just like other berries that are delicious.
Yeah, no, I'll just
Paul, you're setting up camp.
deal.
So, Bear, give me that roll. Nice.
Yeah. Beautiful.
Cool. So as I said, you guys gain 3 rations, which is great because you spend 3 rations for the night. So you got enough to feed everyone. What'd you catch?
Nothing I have to cook. So,
Fish.
So fish. Fish. Perfect.
I guess fish, or I was more just gonna be like foraging a little bit, but I mean, yeah, I guess I could like anything.
And fish actually is not going to work. I mean, unless they're saltwater fish. You cannot eat freshwater fish raw.
Really? Huh. So yeah, I would have. I know I don't want to make a fire tonight, and so unless I know of some way to cook something without fire, I'm going to.
No. All right, I'm gonna have a little bit of fun with this. Krios says, "Oh, that's not gonna be a problem at all." He takes out the AI core, sets it down, pulls out one of his electro flasks, and messes with the wiring for a bit. And then takes out a basically like aluminum foil and sets it atop the AI core, and then just places the fish directly onto it. And just because of how fucking hot the AI core processes, you cook it with a computer.
Nice. Yeah, I'm just totally. I'm just gonna be bow hunting on the stream and just pegging fish.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So it's that anime scene, where there's like everyone sitting around with like the fish on the stick, and there's like
Down episode.
Oh yeah,
Yeah. We're gonna have like a moment of reflection where we're gonna talk our past.
You literally are. So first of all, I need a watch order. It doesn't matter. You don't need a watch order. I don't care. We're moving on past that. So everyone will heal damage equal to half of your maximum HP.
Woo!
I'll handle Krios. Oh, hey, you said full.
I was so hurt.
You were.
And might as well do that as well. And then, if anyone has enough experience to level up, you may do so now.
Oh my
What
god!
do we need?
I do. I just don't know what to do about that.
You need 8.
I have
I
9.
do have 8.
I have 9.
Yeah. You guys want to level up? Let's do it. Let's level up. What does level up do?
I get to have a new move.
Yeah, you get a new move. You get so first you increase your level by 1. Choose a new advanced move from your class. Choose one of your stats and increase it by 1. Increasing your constitution also increases your maximum and current HP.
Oh, my wisdom's going up, baby. 16. So I've got 8 experience. So I will be level 2. Wisdom, I'm moving to a 16. Puts my wisdom modifier 2.
Womp 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 womp.
And then I get to add an advanced move. Let's see if this thing's... it's not smart enough.
No, we'll have to code it in.
Oh, man, this is tough.
Are you leveling up as well, Paul?
I'm trying to.
Oh, wild empathy would be so cool.
What's that document I go to for all the moves and stuff?
The Dungeon World SRD. It might be in the player references. If I was smart and good at my job, I'm not. Perfect.
I just need to be reminded of how to get there, but we're good. We're good now. I'm here.
Oh, man, there's some good ones in here.
They're all supposed to feel like that. Where you're like, oh, but I want that. Oh, but I want that. Oh, God, but I want that.
There are two that are really good here.
Since I'm kind of a noob, what do you guys think I should up? If I have 16 strength and 12 constitution and 15 charisma, 13 wisdom.
What does charisma do for you? Like, what do you use charisma for?
Healing, some other things.
So, like, moving from a 15 to a 16 gets you that +2, which is what I just did in my wisdom. So if it's something that allows you to use abilities more often or better, that's kind of what I would lean on. So if charisma is a big one for you, and it's going to help you lay on hands and, you know, speak to your, like the moon goddess is and all that stuff, like, I think that that's a pretty good standard way to go. I mean, Constitution obviously increases your total hit points.
I'm already at like 22 with 2 armor, so I feel pretty confident about that. But if I can do some sick healing, so I'm just going to do charisma. I'll start focusing on Constitution next. But if anyone's played Paladins in the past, and
charisma in Dungeons and Dragons and your Paladin is like a no-brainer most of the time.
Yeah.
So.
Actually, while you were out hunting, what was the wording of your quest? Appall, yeah.
When I was what? Say that one more time.
You're on a quest right now. Do you remember the wording of that?
It was I'm trying to save Rio.
Okay, so you are still on that quest. Perfect.
Yeah. No request.
No request. Hospitaler is pretty epic as a advanced move. Oh, there's more over here. Brutal. Oh, divine favor is the best. You get cleric spells. You just get to be a cleric.
Oh, that's so good.
That's so good.
All right, I'll do that.
So the thing in my world is that no, there aren't clerics. So you'd get warlock, and warlock is very different. You may not be excited about it. So in our world, while there are beings that people will worship, the actual quote gods in this world are time, death, nature, and chaos. And you do not really worship them so much as you make deals with them. So that may not be the direction you want to go.
Especially because I'm already dedicated to the moon goddess.
Right.
I can't do that.
So outside of that, Smite is great. You just deal an extra d4 damage whenever you're on a quest. Charge is great. When you charge into combat, everyone you lead gets +1 forward, so their next move has a +1 on it.
Perfect Night.
Perfect Night. I think that might be. Yeah, that's 2. So you're only choosing for the stuff between levels 2 through 5. So everything. So you can't choose anything but from Evidence of Faith to Perfect Knight. That stuff's all in like the second half of your classes of progression.
Okay.
All right. Even though there's some really cool ones in here, I'm taking Wild Empathy, which allows me, I can now speak with and understand animals.
Nice. Now you can just talk to or Asmodeus.
And I can also talk to Rivers when he's in form.
Oh, that's so good.
Oh, it's so good.
Nice.
Ironically, I cannot talk to animals, but I can understand them. At least I can eavesdrop on a conversation between Bear and his bear.
Perfect. But only as a bear, right?
No, I can understand them just fine.
Okay,
Yeah.
perfect.
But you can't
Actually,
speak with them? You can just understand them?
Paul, I have to say my favorite one is Exterminatus. Just because it's dramatic as hell.
What the heck is that?
It's a paladin
I
advanced
love
move.
that.
Right? It's so good.
I love that. That's so
When
funny.
you speak aloud to promise to defeat an enemy, you deal plus 2d4 damage against that enemy and minus 4 damage against anyone else. This effect lasts until the enemy is defeated. If you fail to defeat the enemy or give up the fight, you can admit your failure, but the effect continues until you find a way to redeem yourself.
That is very in character.
So I just add the move by copy and pasting everything?
Yep. You'll put it. It's a no roll move. You'll put it all in that like note section or description section at the bottom.
All right.
Details in the details section.
Yeah, I'm getting the hang of it. All good. Thank you, everybody.
Mm-hmm. And are you good, Adam, as well?
None of my hit points or anything go up, right? It's just...
No. Only if your Constitution goes up does your hit point moves. Do your hit points go up?
Right. So, yeah, no, I am clean and good then, because I'm just now able to speak with and understand animals.
It's great.
Just real quick, I also,
theme here.
since Blake hasn't been here, I put a little fill-in face for him where his profile would normally go.
Yeah, Robert Downey Jr. when he
Yeah.
was a kid. Yeah, perfect.
Delightful.
Yeah.
Uh,
I need to use the bathroom real quick, though.
You know what? This is a good time for a break. Let's do it.
let's do it.
All right. We have a break screen now.
Yes.
I don't know how to... I think I can mute also. So I'll talk to you guys in a little.
It's almost.
We
the furthest.
are still, yeah, perfect. Hey guys, welcome back to Movers and No, we're not doing that.
We should
Okay,
have
so-
Bear do all the voice intros.
We could have Bear do all the voices.
We are
Oh boy.
still, yeah, perfect. Hey guys, welcome back to Movers and No, we're not doing that.
Wow, I have a huge delay compared to you, Matt.
Really?
You're in Hawaii. No, you're in Florida.
And it shouldn't be that many more seconds, but
Okay, so let us take off.
well, hold on. While I'm eating my fish, I'd like to take a moment and talk to my companions, if that's all right with you, Mr. Dungeon Master.
Yeah, that seems great.
Paul,
Bear?
I want to apologize for never being a good friend.
Bear, I know where your true loyalties lie. You never have to apologize to me about that again. My mouth may say things quickly, without thought, and you've always somewhat supported me. But I know deep down, you are supporting me, and you have my back. When the bleep hits the fan, you'll be there. Or the
When
rubber...
the leaf hits the other slightly faster moving leaf.
Yes, exactly. When the leaves touch, I know you'll be there to help me.
When the winds collide. Ooh,
And
that's a good one.
that's all I need.
Of course, that's not what I'm talking about. I mean, I've never questioned your loyalty to me and mine to you, even if I have been a bit of a dick. I have always taken it out on you, and I've always envied the position and clout that you have received in our village, especially when it's amplified, growing disrespect and dismissiveness that the rest of the village has for people like me. And for that, I have made you the enemy.
That's
So
okay.
I apologize profusely. I would have no interest in having anyone else standing next to me right now.
I appreciate that, friend. And I want you to know that I consider myself the shield for our community. And that doesn't necessarily mean I have to hold a physical shield. I will take on the burden. In fact, it's not even a burden. I feel like I'm helping, so if you want to continue, I'll just keep coming back to this conversation and smirk at the end.
No, I will be a better friend.
I knew you'd see the way.
Oh shit! Clear that fucking pond, man! Amazing. Any other super heartwarming conversations anyone wants to have before heading to bed? What about any shitty conversations?
Rivers, do you know why I don't trust druids?
Yeah, as much as I sense that to be true, I certainly would love the reasons.
Mm-hmm. I can't fly. Paul can't fly. Apparently Krios can, but we're gonna just assume that most people you know can't fly or turn into a tiny creature or a tree, whatever it is that druids do. The reason I don't trust druids is because when needed the most, their first instinct is to run. Now, I understand why you felt the need to distract that beast, but you left us. And to what end? What if it did kill you? What if you were able to draw it off? What good would that do?
I thought it was going to kill us. Kill us all, and I
would rather die with you standing next to me in the craziest fucking beast form you could ever have than try to put it upon yourself to save my ass. Don't ever run. And I know that that's not what you're doing now, and I apologize again for letting my anger in that moment take my emotions. But I just assumed it was another druid shitty thing to do where you're superior to us normal people that have to deal with things on the ground.
right, our tools are, in a sense,
Project a little.
sorry, our best, in a sense, our best tool is trickery. Animal forms that are obviously sometimes effective in combat, but we are not skilled in that. We don't. To be a druid is not to say to yourself, to be a druid so that I can turn into a bear and rip people apart. Becoming a druid involves one aspect, integrated parts of what the natural world is. Because of that, I have always felt like my biggest contribution to any situation is simply to, on its head. You're right, I can fly. I can breathe underwater. I'm not very good at holding my ground in combat, although I am going to try to be. And as much as you have told me that you never want me to, you would rather die next to me, live. Certainly, I think that we'll have to find a way in between the two things. I don't know if you telling me what you told would make me make a different choice. I will take your words into consideration, and I will understand that you would rather not me sacrifice myself for you. I will try to respect your wishes.
I just need you to know that you're about the closest thing I have to a human friend next to this big old goof.
Wait, are we talking about a Paul or are we talking about...
Paul. I said human
Yeah.
friend.
Thank you, Bear.
But hear me. I will defend you even when you're trying to defend me. So I'm either going to die defending you as a bird, or I'm going to die defending you as a bear.
Well, god damn it, too bad I'll be right in front of you.
I don't want to die either. Let me make this very clear. That is not my interest.
I think, Bear, the biggest difference between how we view the world is that to see a non-violent solution. That is because I'm no violence in it. The only training for violence I have is the training that a wolf pack gave me one day one year when I ran with them. So,
And I don't know if you realize this, Rivers. I ran first. I had no interest in fighting either. Violence is not the answer to the things that I moved through this forest as smoothly as any non-druid can possibly. I'm silent and I befriend animals everywhere I. My instinct is also to find an advantage. I came back because of you.
And with that, nope.
No.
With that, we're going to call the night. Normally, you'd have a pan-up shot of the embers of the fire going off into the sky, but instead, it's just the soft whirring of the AI core and the too bright starlight. Day breaks, which is also a great intro song in the Gundam series, and I know that Matt gets that and nobody else does, and that's fine. And so, yeah, you are at the edge of your sacred lands. You chose to settle here to steel yourselves for a world that you have never been in before, and that no one you've ever met has ever been in, except Krios.
but Krios hasn't been to this particular
Not to this part, no, but he has been outside of your sacred lands.
Were there any maps back in that tower?
You'd have to go back and check. You didn't ask for them then.
I couldn't remember if we saw any. Are there any stories that were raised about what is north of the boundary?
Just the bloody Clorpal. I will give you this piece of information. There was a map, and when you looked at it, the geography was wrong.
Did you say the bloody Corpal?
Yeah.
We are in Corpal territory? Traditions?
According to your old traditions, north is where the Corpal lie.
Wow, that's terrible. Although, the guy we're chasing is half Corpal, is that correct?
He is, and all of you are, 12% Corpal, probably?
Mm-hmm.
All of us?
Not Krios.
Oh, okay. And I'm 10% animal.
Yeah, you're like...
Okay. Clear.
Random splices of, badger.
Can I can I take a moment to fish a couple more things before we break for the morning? Or how long would that? I guess how long do you think that would take?
Take a couple hours.
All right,
You think you maybe don't have it.
How deep is the water?
It's a river. A river delta. I don't know. You tell me.
yeah,
You're the river dude. Your name is Rivers.
I understand that. I just didn't know if we were upriver, because the river certainly changed depth depending on where you are.
That's true. You are, based on how this map works in my mind, you are upriver.
I can become a freshwater. I can hunt fish if we need.
And it would still take a couple hours.
But it would be effective.
It would. I agree. Do you want to spend the time?
No.
What happens to people when they get hungry?
I don't remember. I think you just lose the game. No. Well, you missed a meal. Guess you're dead. No. Where's rations? What happens when you run out of rations? Dungeon World. So we're out of rations. Dungeon World. Oh, interesting.
Like, actually interesting?
Yeah. You cannot take any of the moves that require you to consume rations. So you cannot. So you can settle for camp. You will heal nothing. You can. But it also means you cannot level up, because that is part of the make camp move. And you cannot travel through dangerous territory. You cannot make a perilous journey.
We have to go fishing.
Okay, let's do it.
Same rules last time. Who wants to take the lead?
I will hunt and track, and I will use rivers and dais. So,
Actually, let's do a lead roll. Bear, I need you to trigger that lead move.
do I get any plus on this or nothing? What
There's no roll.
Oh. There you go.
Okay, so you have the first one. Everyone does have the same purpose roll, so you have the second one. So we're gonna have this actually have triggered. We'll do it right after the after you wake up. Does anyone mistrust Bear?
No.
Context of fishing or in general?
Does anyone mistrust anyone in the team?
Nope.
Bear, do you? I think you might actually mistrust Krios right now, because he has still not been honest with himself and with you on his emotional state. And I definitely got the sense that you did not trust him.
The reason I will disagree with you, and
Okay.
you kind of play with it,
Yeah.
'cause I don't care. You know, whatever you think is a better story. The reason that I disagree with you is that the reason I had a heart-to-heart with him like I did was to make it very clear that if he comes, I will trust him. But like he needed to make as good a good a decision as possible on what he's about to get himself into. So whether or not he trusts himself in this part is not important to me. Like I'm choosing to trust him because I don't have the energy or time to spend looking over my shoulder to make sure he's okay.
Okay, got it. Then I will give you guys that one, but you are ill prepared and off balance. You don't have the food for the trip. While you are emotionally together, this is also something very new. You're about to step outside of your sacred lands. No one you know has ever done this, and so you don't know what will happen to you. Rivers go, so you have 3 team in the pool. If you want to work together, it will consume a team from that pool.
Okay. Yeah. Is this? I mean, and this just is ongoing.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, I'll take a lead. I'll take a team.
And that describes Rivers helping you, or like who's hunting,
So
and who's helping who hunt.
I get the feeling that it's probably best if we're going to be fishing, I'm going to ask Rivers to get in the water with whatever form he can to try to push the fish in my direction.
Heard them. Got it. So then, Bear, you were taking the lead. Rivers, you were supporting. Bear, please hunt and track with Asmodeus is probably doing the same.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm gonna have Asmodeus kind of catching anything as we're going. So like,
Yep.
I have Rivers pushing things to this shoreline. I've got Asmodeus downstream, trying to like he's like a net. I'm gonna treat him as a net.
Got it. Then yeah, roll with the +1 for Rivers assisting you, and then the +2 from Asmodeus cunning. It's 3 rations, which is perfect because that's what you need for this trip.
Let's do it. So I'm gonna mark 3 rations on my sheet, track of it for everybody.
Okay.
So I'm up to 4. I've got 4 rations right now.
Well, you really shouldn't because we're about to use them.
Okay, I've got 1 ration. Everybody.
Let's go on a perilous journey, guys.
Let's do it. I think I'm still not willing to be ambushed here, people.
No.
You're right there.
Don't mark again. You're fine. Perilous journey is the whole way between 2 locations.
Okay. So it's only 1 ration for the entire time that we were traveling, and just make camp. So I've got 4 rations now.
You do.
I'd still say it's worth it, even though it sounds like we didn't need to. But I'm happy to have 4 rations.
Yeah, you guys were running low on food. And it's one of those things, like, you didn't know how much farther you guys were going to have to go. So,
Good fishing spot.
it was a great fishing spot. Look at all, you got food to feed 8 people in this one spot. It's great. So you guys head out through the forest. And so, Bear, I will tell you this. You are about to reach the trail's end.
Okay.
And it ends... it ends at the destination you want to go. It is not the end of the trail. Right? It's not like the trail was lost.
Okay.
Okay?
So it seems like the tracks are becoming more and more fresh. Like it's something that, like, you know, they're trying even less to cover them up in whatever capacity they were. Like we're getting, like, I think that if we took a moment, we might be able to even hear something, kind of deal.
You still have the option of gaining a useful bit of information about your query.
Then I will do that.
So it was a little touch and go there for a bit while you were tracking these, while you're following these tracks. Because at one point, they seemed to have disappeared. But actually, the tracks changed what they were. You realized that the tracks were no longer bestial and were instead reminiscent of people.
Okay.
So you believe they possess some kind of shape-shifting power.
Gonna help his distrust of druids.
Sure ain't.
That must be his first.
So, you crest a ridge, and looking down, you see the end of this hillier area that you were in, and it opens out to open plains. At the base of the hills, there is a town. It's got walls, it's got gates, though all the walls seem to be pointing away from the hills, as though built to guard against the plains. There's more people here than you've ever seen in your entire life.
Krios included?
Krios is... Krios has seen more people.
Got it. That's what I'm asking.
Yep. No, I interpret that as like, okay, but like, what if I also added Krios to the number of people that I'd seen? Because now it's one more. How long?
Like, we're splitting hairs on this one. Is it like 11?
And you see pretty bustling little village. Multiple smoke streams raising up from it. What do you do?
Ask Krios' advice.
I never. Well, just a hand on the head moment. I never did my new bond with Paul, and I totally forgot to do that. So I don't know if that matters right now, but
For what? For clearing that bond then?
yeah, and like creating a new one in its place.
Well, we do it at the end of the session.
All right.
I'm missing a bond also.
Oh, wait, did you clear it at the end of last session?
Yeah.
Oh no. Yeah, we'll deal with all that off screen.
Okay.
And sometimes it's good to just like let things breathe for a bit before you add a new bond, because you don't exactly know what's the next most important thing. So it's fine.
So Rivers, what did you say? Ask Krios.
Krios, I think, has more experience than any of us in foreigners.
I mean, it's a town. You go in and you talk to them. At least that's what I did with you guys.
We can just walk in.
I mean, as long as you're not like sneaking, people are. I mean, I don't know. They might be super territorial, which could be a problem in its own right. But I don't think there are many that kill on sight. At least not for humans.
These people are bloodthirsty by nature.
According to legend.
Well, let's just say we've been traveling with Krios for some time and not mention the tribe that that some of us are a part of.
I mean, no, Barry, I know this isn't exactly your style. It might be your style. We just leave if they seem bloodthirsty. You get in arrow range, you say hello, or whatever. Think arrow range, right? Doubt they have guns. They might, though. You know what? Let's stay farther than that. Yeah, just like let them know we're here somehow. Maybe start a fire up here, like a campfire.
Killed 3 of our friends.
We don't know if they're to blame or if there's just some group of people inside.
Krios, how many people are down there, do you think?
Oh, I'd wager, I don't know, 4,000? Something like that?
Well, I'm not as good at math as you are, Krios. But it seems to me that if there were 4,000 bad guys, they could steamroll us if they wanted to.
Yeah, and I guess that they could also steamroll us if they didn't want to.
Kind of my point, I guess.
Perhaps.
Sure.
So, would they recognize the 3 of us as tribespeople from this village that they just pull in?
Listen, I don't know who they are. I don't know. Like, what do you want me to say here, man?
All right, Krios, I say you just lead the way and we'll follow. None of us should say the tribe that we associate with, and we should use Rio's name at a minimum.
So I will say this, and I know this might be like a weird idea for you all. A town that big doesn't know everyone that lives there.
So you're saying we just walk in?
You could.
Does our clothing not stand out in this town?
Oh, it might. I have no idea what their fashion sense is. They don't exactly send out magazine. Never mind.
Well, perhaps the first place we go is to a clothing store.
That would
You don't
require
even know what
us
a clothing store is.
Or
Go
where do they get clothes from around here? How do we disguise ourselves?
I don't know what they look like. I mean, honestly, at this point, Rivers, you might as well fly over there and tell us what you see.
Yeah, I can do an eagle eyes, really be an eagle, and then just back in a few minutes. Is that what people would like?
I think that would serve us greatly in this situation.
Perfect.
Well, I'll do that.
Really or no? Show it to me. Oh, nice. Stop. What? So you want to turn into an eagle and spend a hold to get a bird's eye view of the place?
That's correct. And I'll try to act casual, eagle-esque. A lot of circling.
Yeah. Yeah, their clothes are. Well, I mean, I guess bird's eye view. Bird's eye view. Okay. So you have a pretty good idea of how the place is laid out. You have a pretty good idea of. You see some important-looking buildings and a temple, a wide-open area for rituals that, now that you look at it, pretty reminiscent of the spaces that you would use to perform your rituals.
What are their building materials like?
It's strange. They seem to have taken wood and like shaped it, but yeah, I mean they shaped the wood.
It's mostly wooden structures,
Mm-hmm.
but just very different than the way we use wood.
Yeah.
Yeah, I should put. I chose eagles specifically because they can see like individual things at about. Like
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
house.
Um.
But I can spend a hole to do that if you want.
To do what?
Use eagle's special vision.
I think in this case it would, because it's like a scouting move. You're basically trying to discern realities. And I'm just giving you answers to things without really, you know what I mean? Is there anything specific you're trying to look for? I heard clothing.
Yeah. Yes. Mostly clothing and to memorize the layout of the city so we wouldn't look completely lost.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so you see that they have similar stylistic clothing, but the materials are actually different. They have some of them are actually, you can see a small group of them right now walking forward. Have these large metallic headpieces on that are reminiscent of the mecha creatures. And many of the people walking around seem to be wearing a form of like a metallic cloth. And you can't think of any creature that would have something like that. And you don't know if it's natural at all.
I guess I will specifically look for anyone who looks like us.
The ones styled like you use these other materials.
So we would stand out no matter what, huh? We'll return to the group.
Okay.
give them all the information.
Hmm.
I talked to him in bird form before he gets out of human form.
Because I can, and I'm excited
It's
about it.
impressive. Bird form. Let's see if he can understand me before I turn into human form.
One of my favorite scenes that Amy Falcone does as a druid is there's these two birds that are like constantly annoying them, and so at one point she's in like an argument with them, and then turns around to talk to another person, but she's still talking in bird, and so she just like tweets angrily at another person. Anyway, sorry.
Impressed by Bear's natural abilities.
Anything else? Anything anyone wants to do?
I think we get to go say hello.
Let's journey in.
We'll just have to be careful. And look friendly. We should look friendly. That probably. Maybe we should.
Maybe leave the bear outside. Asmodeus. Did you see any animals in their rivers?
Did I?
Yeah.
Okay,
Bugs?
bring the bear. I didn't mean to like.
His name is Asmodeus.
So you
Asmodeus.
say that, and I say
I know.
they had animals. They had animals there.
Okay.
All right. You head down the ridge, walking up to the town. You can see that the walls on this side are not maintained at all anymore. And actually, the gate that this side would normally be used for is blackened, burnt remains. And as you... So looking at it from a distance, I guess, you can see that there's a faint glow to that gate. Coming down from the trees, do you make any attempts to hide yourselves as you approach? My understanding is no.
I vote no.
Yeah, I'm gonna vote this one.
What did you say? Sorry.
I'm gonna vote no as well.
Okay.
I'm just gonna. I say we just kind of walk
Unthreatening. Just like walk. You're just
unthreatening.
walking in. You're just,
We all have a slight smile on our faces walking, trying to
Yeah.
blend.
I tell Asmodeus to like have a fake limp. No.
as you approach, you get well past the part that a guard would have seen you if there were guards facing this way, and you almost make it like you cross the gates. You know, you pause for a minute because you're worried it might be like some kind of trap or signal, and after realizing none of you are actually proper magicians, you just carry on through, and nothing seems to happen. And so you're like pausing there, looking at the gate for a little bit, and a child walks around the corner, looks at you, squints and cocks his head, and then says, "Why are your eyes green?"
Asmodeus, roll over. Asmodeus rolls over.
Yes.
Hello, small child. My name is Paul. What's yours?
Sarah?
Sarah. What a completely normal name. We're travelers from far, far away. We're just visiting. Looking
Okay,
for a
but-
friend.
But the travelers come in through the other gate.
Oh, we did not know that. Can you point us where the travelers usually go, so we can meet up with them?
She looks down at her hand, pointing towards the other. Sorry, it was off screen. It doesn't count. Um, she points, and then says, "How did you get out of jail?"
Jail. Who? You see people with green eyes in the jail?
What jail?
And then she points back towards the hills and starts backing away.
Hmm.
There's no jail that we came from. Found no jail on our journey from very far away.
Her finger wilts, and she looks down.
Have you ever met somebody from the city before? This is Krios. He asked us to guide him to a far off place, and so we found ourselves here.
Yeah, but you can't leave.
Can't leave what?
The forest, a jail?
And then she runs away.
That was ominous.
Oh boy.
I turn. Damn it. I tell Asmodeus to get the hell out of there. I tell him to run back into the forest.
He looks up and looks back at the forest and looks to you and says, because I have to talk now, right? Yeah.
If you want to.
I'm not leaving you.
If this is going to go the way I think, I don't know if you're going to have a choice. So I either get you out of here now and we figure it out later, or you get separated from me the moment that we get swarmed by guards because apparently we're from jail. So you tell me, Asmodeus, do you want
I don't know what jail is. Is that like a kind of lettuce? Is that a leaf? What is that?
confines, a box, a cage,
House
chains?
that you can't leave.
Nope. I got none of it.
God damn it. All right, Bear. You stupid bear. I love you so much. We're doing this.
We're doing this.
I say we talk to more people.
And it's a good thing, too, because at that moment, jumping across the tops of the buildings, you see 12 slightly bestial people with these big metallic crown pieces on their heads land and look over you. And that's where we're going to stop.
Those are the people we saw.
So, end of session.
Neato.
My mind's been blown.
I didn't realize we were in the movie The Village.